A good diet for irritable bowel syndrome. Many people suffer from irritable bowel syndrome and they are trying to decrease the symptoms with the help of different methodologies. Some may go for Ayurvedic or herbal treatment while some try hypnotism to get rid of it completely. But it is very distressing to see that people never give much significance to their eating habits. A special diet chart is not maintained. This may be because they are not getting the proper dietitian to give a planned chart of diet for irritable bowel syndrome. It is also alarming to note that nowadays a number of bogus diets are available for irritable bowel syndrome. There happen to be many people who receive and offer incorrect advice regarding the diets for irritable bowel syndrome. This certainly leads to fatal results. You may ask why. Just imagine yourself to be a person affected with irritable bowel syndrome. You are supposedly suffering from all of the symptoms of the illness. You would be ready to do anything to alleviate the pain. Anything is nothing but taking into consideration every piece of advice you may receive from your surroundings. Being reckless and desiring to get rid of the illness somehow, you may attempt the different diets suggested for irritable bowel syndrome. If at all the advice you have got seems to be faulty, you may certainly land up getting worse symptoms. Probably, this is something that nobody would want to result in. It is important to note that diet plays an important role in the causing of irritable bowel syndrome. Taking the right food for the syndrome can certainly help alleviate the different manifestations of the illness in the life of a person. Many people are of the opinion that every individual should possess a diet of his or her own in the case of irritable bowel syndrome. They assert that each sufferer of irritable bowel syndrome should have a personalized diet in order to attain freedom from this syndrome. As a result, those who wish to find out a solution for this are ready to pay any amount of money so as to have somebody who could suggest a personalized diet for them. Actually, this is in reality not necessary. People suffering from irritable bowel syndrome would try sticking to a particular generic diet meanwhile enjoying its benefits. Determining the appropriate diet in irritable bowel syndrome needs only an understanding of the following tips. 1. Try to think categorically, and not specifically. There happens to be no specific diet that induces the manifestations of irritable bowel syndrome. This is not of the meaning that you are not powerful enough to control the illness. You have to just remember that there exist certain kinds of foods that are liable to trigger the illness. You should necessarily avoid these classes of foods. A. Fatty. B. Coffee, both decaffeinated and caffeinated. C. Having high content of insoluble fiber. D. Carbonated drinks. E. Alcohol. The right diet for irritable bowel syndrome exempts foods that come under these classes due to the reason that they will induce the symptoms of the syndrome. 2. Substitute and broaden. Taking a proper diet that suits irritable bowel syndrome is not of the meaning that you have to refrain from taking good food. You may find substitutes for the various foods that have to be eliminated. You may also try diverse meals so that you are not bored with the diet you take. It should be remembered that dieting to alleviate the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome can be effective only with a dedication to follow it.